Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the FPL Lock-In. Sorry, we're a little bit late. This stream, where usually we react to Saturday night's games, but obviously we're on the FA Cup weekend. There are no Saturday night games. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different for the Lock-In. It's sort of going to be, it's going to be early thoughts, basically, and a bit of a forward-thinking session for the second half of the season. So we're going to have a look how we got on game week. I keep getting the game weeks bloody confused. 21. We're going to have a look at basically the fixtures for the rest of the season, when we should be playing our tips, etc. Because we're starting to get a little bit of clarity on that. We're going to have a look at some wildcard drafts because I know wildcarding is becoming a fairly popular week. I know Nightmare's considering it. I think Trig may have considered it as well. And then we're also going to have a look at the team of the season so far and our teams for game week 22. So joining me first of all for the first time in 2026 and for the first time for about a month, the Pubcast Ghost. Roberto, how are you doing, mate? Happy 2026.
Yeah, happy New Year, everyone. Good to be back. And yeah, looking forward to this one. It's going to be a bit different, as you said, obviously without the Saturday night reaction, but quite interesting to look ahead and sort of see that horizon coming up and what we're thinking. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Also joining me after fighting with his computer for the last 15 minutes, Trig. How you doing, mate?
Good. Finally back out running, so everything's looking up now. So
Is your groin all right?
Yeah, it's getting better now.
Wonderful.
Did a slow trot this morning.
And fresh off filming a 1 hour video for his own channel, it is the inevitable, the lovable, the incontrovertible Darius FPL. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Yeah, I was watching the football. I blame the penalty shootouts ruining my timings because I was intending to do it much earlier on in the day, and then I watched the football and I kept on getting suckered in to penalty shootouts. There was no break in the football, so I just kept putting it back and back and back, and I thought, Spurs are shit. I'll do it during then. So and then I almost ran out of time, but I got it done, so it's all good.
Some things never change. Your hate for Spurs. So yeah, lads, how are you finding this weekend before we start up like the FA Cup? I mean, I've got to admit, after doing all the streams, I figured out at one point me, Darius, Trig, and Kanji, between the four of us, I think we streamed 8 times in like 2 weeks. It was a bit nice to have a bit of a break. I'm going to say that. Have you found it, Trig?
Well, I've really enjoyed it. I love all the game weeks back to back. So yeah, it feels like it almost feels like an international break now, doesn't it? It's like waiting for the next lot.
It does. Yeah, we've got nearly a week. Darius, how about yourself, mate? I mean, you're a week of not doing watch-alongs. Weekend of not doing watch-alongs.
Yeah, well, I'm actually thinking I might do a Man United one tomorrow because I know that a lot of my people that watch me support Man United, and so I might do one tomorrow because I feel like I've missed it today. I've been watching the football, watching the goals go in, and no commentary. So I might bring it back tomorrow. But it's been nice for a break because, it was a hectic 2 weeks. I think I was going non-stop for what felt like forever. So, yeah, it was good to have a couple of days off, played some games, now refreshed, ready to go again, ready to kick on the second half of the season.
And how about yourself? But obviously you haven't been on here, but sometimes it's nice just to take a little bit of a step back from the FPL side of things as well, isn't it? Just from
Exactly. Enjoy the festivities and New Year and stuff. Get refreshed, revitalized, and kick on for 2026. And yeah, it's going to be good to get our teeth into it and get going.
Yeah. Okay. So before we start, I'll say hello to people in the chat. I apologize again for being a little bit late. We've got Hippie. That is Casper. Our ghost. Roberto. Hi to Tommy. Andrew saying, screw it, the pigeon is injured and now in the cup, and Solanke is back. Yep, apparently so. Rob Taff, hello, mate. Claire, Shagir, Tommy, Tricky D. Who else have we got in? Daniel, Paul, Global Sports Cards, another Paul, and Josie. and Alan. I think I've got everyone there. Oh, and Combs just joined as well. Okay. So we're going to go through, as we usually do in the podcast, how we got on in game week 21. And as we usually do, we'll go through from who did the worst to who did best. Please do like the video to help get out there and subscribe if you're new around here. So bottom of the pile is D Unit on 49 points. He is a red arrow to 1.9 million. His team was Sanchez 2. He didn't captain Tarkowski in the end, which I was a bit disappointed about. Captain Gabriel 12, O'Reilly 1, Tarkowski 4, Chalobah 3, Cunha 2, Foden 2, Rice 3, Thiago 12, Bowen 2, Haaland 6. Yeah, talk us through it, Dennis.
If I'd done what I was originally going to do and played Wilson over O'Reilly, I would have got a green arrow. Like that's the only difference. Like other than that,
Wilson 9 on the bench. Yes, well,
yeah. When O'Reilly was benched, I was like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me!" Because I was like, I thought that was a risk, but I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to play Wilson against double Chelsea defense." But in reality, like it wouldn't have made much difference. Chalobah still got 3 points, got the DC. Sanchez still got a save point, even though they conceded a few goals. And Wilson just seems inevitable at the moment. It's daft to bench him. I don't think I'll be able to bench him again. Like the fixtures just look too good from a Fulham attacking perspective. And the dude's literally just come off the FA Cup and this today with a goal. Then he got the assist of an assist, and then he got an assist off the bench. So he's literally the best asset under 6 million in the midfielders in the game at the moment. It's impossible to overlook him, I think. But that's my own fault. But otherwise, that Gabriel captaincy, folks, was so close. If anyone watched that game at the end of the game, Gabriel had the chance that you would normally expect him to bury. And if that had gone in, I would have been the top scorer of the week. But it was, unfortunately, he was on for 2 bonus as well. That miss actually killed him for bonus. And he would have beaten the Haaland captain. So again, it just goes to show that now, more than ever, I think taking on Haaland as captain with the form that he's currently in, definitely doable on more weeks than not, I would suggest.
That was really funny, Darius. You froze again, and it looked like you were smelling your armpit, Roberto. Roberto, I noticed when I was putting the slides together, you were a fellow adopter of probably the greatest player of all time, Tavernier. Have you got any regrets about not going for Wilson instead?
I've currently got Wilson as well, so I've sort of doubled up. So yeah, I really like him at the moment. He's in great form, and yeah, his assist today, outside of the foot, put on a plate at the back post, was absolutely brilliant. So no, I applaud your bravery, Darius, with captaining an Arsenal defender at home to Liverpool, because yes, that game was dull, but I didn't see it being that way. I was expecting goals, and you know, it was a good play. And yeah, for those that did captain Haaland, he's not been firing on all cylinders recently, but yeah, he does tend to do enough to justify it, and sometimes it feels too much of a risk to go elsewhere. So I see your logic, Darius, but I think I'll probably be sticking to him at the moment. But yeah, I really like the team, and I think this week, yeah, just with that Wilson benching, it's unfortunate, really.
What put you off Tarkowski in the end, captaining him, Darius? Because you were going to do him on the podcast.
Yeah, so I looked into some stats when I was, because I put together the top 8 captains I think are going to be the best every single week. And when I was doing that, I looked at the stats and I was like, I'm an idiot if I don't go with Gabriel. Like they're literally playing a team that concede goals off corners, and he was so close to doing it. I was like, it would have been biblical if that had gone in. I would have looked like an absolute genius. But I looked at it and I was like, Liverpool not going to have Ekitike. I was convinced he wasn't playing. I was like, they won't score a goal. So like it's a guaranteed 6 points. And then if he gets a clean sheet, he's probably going to be in the bonus. And if he wasn't for that miss, he would have been in the bonus. So the reasoning behind it was sound. It just unfortunately didn't pay off. He obviously matched Haaland. It was that bit was a bit disappointing because I felt like it really should have been more than the 6. But why I didn't captain Tarkowski is because I looked at the game against Brentford. And I was like, if they're conceding 4 goals at home to Brentford, and Brentford are obviously one of the form teams, they're literally, along with Arsenal, they've won 4 of the last 5. They're the only 2 teams in the league that have done that. So they are a form team. And I thought, If they can score 4, though, against Everton at home, I reckon Wolves can score based off what I saw the other night against Man United, and that's why I changed it.
Okay. Should we move on to Trig's team? So Trig is on 59 points. Is that green or red, Trig, or
green? Oh, green.
Green, yeah.
I think I went from 135k to 115.
Okay, so small green. Trig's got Sanchez on 2, Gabriel 6, the beautiful Lacroix with 8, Tarkowski 4, Anderson, that's Elliot Anderson 7, Kirky 1, Foden 2, Saka 3, Cunha 2, Haaland captain 12, and Thiago 12. Yeah, talk us through it, Trig.
Yeah, pretty standard sort of a game week, really. I was quite pleased with Lacroix and Anderson.
Yeah.
Who I thought going into the week, I thought they were my 2 weakest links for the week, but it turned out they were the strongest. So they did well. Cunha, very disappointing. Saka, again, not doing enough, really, in my opinion. I mean, Timber was putting in more dangerous crosses than Saka was. And Rice on the free kicks was looking more dangerous as well. Foden and Cherky, absolutely hopeless. And Cherky didn't start. He played today, full 90 minutes against Exeter. 10 goals. All he got was a single assist. And he played the entire match. And so not happy with him. And other than that, all good.
Is Cherky on the chopping block for this week then? And obviously we'll get on to
maybe Cherky and Cunha both. I'm looking at a double switch. Maybe to Wilson and to somebody whose name I've forgotten. But Bruno. That was it. Bruno and Wilson in for Cherky and Cunha, possibly. Although I might wait till game week 24 and just keep saving transfers.
Yeah, I mean, Darius, you're our Man United correspondent, shall I say, or expert. Cunha's got to go now. I mean, he's been useless, and Bruno back on penalties. He's got to go, hasn't he?
Yeah, I sold him. He's done. See you later.
He's already gone.
Thanks for nothing. He's been. I blame Bruno Fernandes for this, because if he had not got injured, I would never have owned Cunha. And I thought he's been crap. And the only reason why I bought him in is because of the fact that Bruno got injured. That's the only reason he ever came in. He's been an absolute fraud this season. The player that was at Wolves is obviously still there. We've been given some impersonation he's been crap.
Okay, let's move on to Roberto's team. So Roberto's 1 point up on 60, which I'm assuming is a green arrow. Roberto, 448k. I mean, it's 448k. Oh, I'll say this as well. 6 months in a row tonight, we've done every Saturday night between the lot of us and Lock-In. So this is also the Lock-In 6-month birthday. But we always love looking at your team on the Lock-In, Roberto, because we never know what moves you're going to have made. So we're glad you're here to actually talk us through it this time. So Roberto's on 60 points, 448k, Pickford on 3, Collins on 13, O'Brien 2, Chow -1, Wilson 9, Gordon 1, Foden 2, Tavernier 5, Thiago 12, the lesser seen Watkins with 2, and Haaland 12. Yeah, talk us through it, mate, and how you've been getting on generally over the festive period.
Yeah, so I've that's what I always try to do. Make my moves not too clear cut so that I can't be read and blocked all the time. I like to kind of keep it mysterious. But no, to be fair, over the festive period, I have been making quite a few moves, because game week 17 was the week I used all my free transfers at once. And so since then, I've been sort of kind of being a bit more tentative and doing only 1 or 2 transfers. And I've not really had the points to show for it, to be honest. I've only sort of barely just been scraping past the average. So this week was actually my first good week in a while. And I made a couple of transfers just to sort of strengthen the overall squad with a -4, because I did look at my team, and Gvardiol got the injury, and I was thinking, I don't hate the rest of my defense, but it'd be nice to have another option in there just to have as backup. The problem was this week that I benched Lacroix, because I had Watkins. I thought that game would be high scoring. Palace recently's form has been pretty poor, so I didn't foresee them getting a clean sheet in that game. So that was a bit of a kick in the teeth. And that's the only thing that's been annoying recently is I've sort of had a few benching regrets. Game week 20, Collins 10-pointer on the bench. The week before that, Collins 9 on the bench with O'Brien's 8. So yeah, it's been benching defender hauls recently that I've been struggling with, but overall still happy enough. And Collins, has been a really good signing since I've had him, so happy with him. And yeah, I made a couple of changes. So I brought in a replacement for Voltemada, who is just not starting to get as many minutes, and the form has dropped as well. It was about time that I got.
Nightmare said he's already sold in this game week. He said on his video yesterday, before the FA Cup and all that. So yeah, sorry.
Exactly. It was about time I got Thiago in, because I think I had him on the free hit the week that he scored a brace. But yeah, I had to get him in. Really, he's just been so good. Another couple goals against Sunderland was a nice way to get him in. So I also then brought in Robinson just as a sort of solid option, not one that I'll play every week, but just to replace the injured Vardiol. So all in all, 60 points, pretty happy with it. And yeah, I think there are a few players here that, Neto, Gordon, who've been sort of hanging around the squad, but I've just never needed to sort of deal with them. So it's whether I sort of switch them out in the coming weeks, because they've not quite shown the form recently. And might have a couple other options to come in for them.
Trig, any thought on young Roberto's team? We always look at it, but rarely get to ask him about it, do we? Especially on this stream.
Yeah, it's looking a good team, actually, isn't it? I mean, you'd be a bit disappointed with Chow at the weekend, but I can see why you benched Lacroix. I probably would have benched Lacroix in this team as well.
And so soon after his 17-pointer, I don't know what. I guess I saw the fixture against Leeds and thought, not a bad fixture on paper, but Leeds have been great recently, haven't they? So.
Did you have him for a 17-pointer?
Yeah, I had him for the 17-pointer in game
at least
20.
You didn't get him in after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I struggle to be ruthless. That's sometimes my problem. I care about my players, my FPL team too much. So when he got me that 17-pointer, I was like, can I really bench you the next week? I don't know, but yeah, with hindsight, I mean, I also started O'Brien that game week of the 17-pointer with the 0 points, and then Collins got 10 on my bench. So it seems like whatever I pick at defensively at the moment, it seems to be wrong with Chow's -1. But hopefully next week I can get it right.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to look at my team. So I am at the top of the pile this week, 73 points, but -4. So effectively 69 points, which brings up to 150k. So I had Kelleher on 13, Gabriel and Timber both on 6, Hall with 4, Lacroix 8, Tavernier 5, Cunha 2, Foden 2, Saka 3, Thiago 12, and Captain Haaland 12. So yeah, I'm very happy. I made a members. I mean, Trig and Darius, who have been streaming me all over Christmas, know what a poor Christmas I had. But I made a members video just before Christmas where I said Christmas is always the worst time of year. It's always where I lose rank. So I by that I sort of mean the game's starting from Christmas Day up until this game week. So if I could get out of it with a grey arrow or a slight red, I'd be happy. And I've basically come out of it with a grey arrow. I went in on 150,000 and I came out on 150,000. So I've got Tavernier. I had 3 players injured this week: Kudos, Ekateke, and who was the defender? No, and Vandenberg had lost his place. I brought in Gabriel, Tavernier, and Thiago. Admitted I got it wrong with Thiago, and it's the same with Darius. Sometimes you just have to eat it up, don't you, and go back there. And it's worked out pretty well. So yeah, so I'm fairly happy with it. Darius, do you want to give your thoughts on my team, mate? Do I need to wild card?
Your team just got. I mean, you got the clean sheets. That's what happened this week. That's why your team did well. I mean,
it's the goalkeeper. It's the goalkeeper saving that stupid fucking penalty that Pratt Lefay took. Fucking ridiculous.
Apparently, he's the best goalkeeper in the world at saving penalties.
I could have saved that fucking thing. It was the worst penalty I've seen in my life. Why don't most keepers get penalties like that to save?
He redeemed himself today, though, Nick, with his amazing goal against Everton. So it was all good. Just a shame it wasn't in the actual FPL game.
You should have got minus 10 points for that penalty.
I tell you what, Keller has had two of the easiest penalties to save ever. Like Strand Larsen's penalty, I thought couldn't be beaten for how bad it was. Up steps Lafay with probably the worst penalty I think I've ever seen. He literally he didn't even do it well. He just literally looked like it telegraphed he was going to chip it straight to him. And that's what he did. Keller didn't even dive.
But they know Keller is so good. That's what freaks them out. That's why they're so rubbish.
He's actually not. I think the penalty takers have just had absolute mares versus him. I don't know what they're thinking. The Strand last one was just poorly hit. It looked like a striker hadn't scored a goal in a long time when he took his. But Lafay's one, it's like he put money on himself to not score a penalty. That's the best way I can describe it, because it was the most pathetic attempt at a Panenka I've ever seen. It was so non-telegraphed. Keller was he just stood there and was like, "Thank you very much."
They do look. It's it's probably one of the coolest things you can do if they go right. But if they go wrong, you look like an absolute twat.
And he looked like a twat.
Yeah. All right. So because it's the lock-in, we're gonna have a look at the Pubcast league table, and I'm gonna ask you guys. We sort of reflect on how we are, and because we're gonna look into the remainder of the season, when we're going to use our kits, when should we use them, etc. So top of the pile is Trig on 1266. I'm just behind him on 1,260, and of course we're both about 150k. Then Roberto and Kanji very close to each other, both around 400k. Then FPL Nightmare. I'm going to call this the wooden spoon race, around 1.5 million. Just ahead of bottom of the pile at the moment, Darius, who, as we saw earlier, is on 2 million. So I'm not meaning to wind Darius up here, but I just thought we could reflect and say, from the positions we're in, where would you like to finish? What's your goal for the end of the season? I'll come to you first, Darius, as the person with the most to gain, can I say?
My aim is just to beat Gary, just so I can rub it in at the end of the season. That's it. I've got no other issues. Wherever Gary finishes, I need to finish one spot above him. That's it in the world. That's all I need. That's it. Not interested in hunting down triggers when hunt down Gary.
Darius, Gary's rent free in your head, Darius. You got to let him get out of there. Come on, you got bigger plans.
I do actually. To be fair, I reckon I've worked it out. So, a precursor to what I talked about in my video today, I've had no luck with chips for 2 seasons now. Last year I played triple captain for 2 points. Played it again this year for 2 points. And then bench boost last year was 6 points. This year was 4. And if I'd had any kind of luck, I would have been sweet. But alas, I've had none. And also my captaincy picks have not. Recently they've come in, but the beginning of the season didn't quite come in the way I thought. But in fairness, if I'd done either of those, I'd probably be above you. But that's the difference. The captaincy, I've literally lost out. I think I worked it out. I've lost out by about 50 odd points minimum, probably.
If my uncle was a woman, he'd be my aunt, as they say.
But also the triple captain and bench boost, it's a 1 week. You can just get unlucky, and that's what's happened. Unfortunately, you can't account for the fact that when you played on Haaland, you got 16 and I got 2 when I did it, and they were both equivalent teams he played. He just didn't show up for me, and he showed up for you. Whereas the bench boost as well, the bench boost, I go back and I had 4 amazing fixtures for all the blokes on the bench. I get a Krejci own goal and a bunch of other stuff. They all showed up and got me 4 points. And then Trig gets stuck as a worldie when he gets his bench boost and gets a 15-pointer off the bench with him. I mean, you can't account for that. It's just you get the rubber green on.
Pretending you weren't in this league for a minute and it was just overall rank. Where would your overall rank go? Be still 100k you're looking to get up to?
Yeah, I can get 100k. I'll finish the top 100k. I've got no doubts about that. Like, if we look at my team now and the team of the season when we get to it, my team's not actually that far off it. Like, my players have actually been good. It's just the first 6 weeks killed me, which is why I'm where I am. And captaincy in the Chiefs.
It'll be a different team the second half of the season, though. Roberto, you're about 400k. What's your goal for the rest of the season, mate?
I think the same, to be honest. Top 100k. You know, a lot of people have been saying it the last few years that top 100k is like the new top 10k. Obviously, it's very different in terms of FPL rate. You know how it's rated in the community, but it is becoming harder and harder to sort of have consistent ranks. These days because of how many players are playing the game and how many more engaged managers there are out there. So. Yeah, I think just a steady season. It's been a bit up and down. Obviously, the changes to the game as well is, took a bit of time to adjust. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It doesn't need to be spectacular, but we can sort of have that and then go again next season potentially. So I wouldn't mind that. And then in terms of the Pubcast League, yeah, I mean, I'm coming for your trophy there, Nick. I think it's only a matter of time until I close the gap and. Hopefully, have my name on top of the league at the end of the season.
Well, there's been no trophy yet. It's the first year we've done it. So whoever wins this year will be the inaugural champion. So how about yourself, Nick? You're the highest ranked out of us. You're the player with the best ever ranks out of us in FPL. What's your goal, man?
When the season started, it was top 1%, and I'm like already there now in the top 1%. So I think my goal this season is to beat last season's score, and I think that was 35k last season, so I want to beat that. I think that's pretty realistic, so maybe I can do even better than that. But from we're only on game week 22, so you'd think we normally go up as the season goes on, don't we? So I'd have to be pretty confident, I think, of getting there.
We can have a look at the minute at the double game weeks, but obviously that's a reason why we make a lot of the ranks a minute, the big double game weeks. And obviously there's less this season. Do you reckon that's going to affect our ability as seasoned players to get up there? Do you know what I mean?
It could be smaller too, because these teams going out the FA Cup. I mean, Palace have gone out already. There's less teams in the FA Cup, the smaller the double game weeks are going to be. So that could make a bit of difference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more difficult.
Hopefully, Chelsea aren't going to lose.
No, I can't see it. But how are they getting on, by the way, Nick?
0-0, 16 minutes, no action yet. Just bookings for Chelsea players. Yeah, so
I mean, I always want to finish top 100k. That is always my goal without anything else. But last year, this time, I just missed out on the top 100k last year by like 2 points, and I was about 700,000 at this stage. So. Really, I think my goal's got to be more than 100k, but I don't want to say something and then regret it when we do our end of season review. But I'll say top 50k. I'll say top 50k. That's the goal. That's the goal. And anything better than that would be brilliant. Okay, all right. So this slide is going to be a bit complicated, but there's no other way I could freeze it all on. So these are the fixtures. I'm going to go on a bit of a ramble here, right? These are the fixtures between now and the end of the season. They're just there for reference, really. So we're going to talk about when should we use our chips, and then we're going to look at free hit drafts. So I've done a little bit of swatting up on this before the video. So, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because by no means do I know that much on this. I believe we have 2 potential, well, almost certain going to be blank game weeks, which are 31 for the Carling Cup final, and then 34 for the FA Cup semi-finals, where we'll have the 2 teams in the final blank and whoever they're playing. And in the semi-finals, whatever Premier League teams are involved in that game week and whoever they're due to play. Then there's potential double game weeks in 26, 33, 36. 26, and you guys might know more about this to me, depends on the Champions League and there being a free midweek. I assume it's that none of the teams are in the qualifying, the round where the middle teams end up playing each other. And I believe, Darius, you probably know more about this than I do, that there's a chance that Arsenal could be doubling in 26. Is that right?
Well, they've got to beat Chelsea first, and I don't know, to be honest, I think Arsenal rotate for the League Cup. I know people say, Arteta needs to win a trophy. they're interested in winning the league, they couldn't give two hoots about the Carabao Cup. So I don't think it's a given that they win. And if they don't win, then there's no double in 26, I don't think. I mean, honestly, you're better off not worrying about it until they actually get announced and the results are happened. Like, if you sit there and plan for the what ifs, they want you to worry about it because they want to make content about it. In reality, all you need to know is that there could be a potential double in game week 26. You won't know until at least game week 24, probably at the minimum. Those are the facts. And the blanks will definitely be in game week 31, which is for the Carabao Cup final, and game week 34, which is obviously for the FA Cup semi-finals. The best time for me, if you want to know when to wildcard and what my plan is at the moment, prior to the video dropping in a bit, I talk about it. I wildcarded in the week before the double last season, which happened to be the last international break. So the last international break happens directly post 31, which is the blank game week, before game week 32. So the international break happens, the players come back, and it's an FA Cup weekend before the Premier League resumes the week after. So that's the time to wildcard, because you've got 3 weeks to muck around with your teams, get price rises, whatever you want. That's my plan as things stand at the moment, because I feel like
what game week's that, sorry, mate?
Game week 31,
31.
after game week 31.
31.
Yeah.
That's what
32.
So just before I bring you two lads in, can I just say, so the other 2 potential weeks, because there's 3 midweeks, there could be doubles at 33 and 36. So this is the plan that I've seen going around on X. What's the word? Crash into, what's the word I'm looking for? Dead team into 31. So basically,
dead end.
Dead end into 31. And, if they happen to get a double game week with Arsenal in 26, we've already got their players. Wild card in 31 it would be, wouldn't it? Or 30. Yeah, wild card in 31, as Darius was saying, to get in all your players. Free hit in 34, which will be the blank. And then use your triple captain and bench boost in one of the double game weeks, whether or not they're 26, 33, or 36. Does that make sense to you, Roberto? And have you got any thoughts on when you're going to use them yet?
Yeah, I think that probably is logical. I mean, it's funny when we've had the first half of the season using chips in single game weeks, it kind of makes us think a lot more about other options. Whereas now we're in the second half of the season, we're now reverting back to what we were used to, where a lot of the time, I think previously I've certainly been the case for me. I don't tend to use a chip before. Well, I think in previous seasons, depending on the schedule, it's been around sort of game week 22, 23 that the first chip of the season is used. But then, there's been seasons where I've used literally wildcard, triple captain, free hit, bench boost, all between 32 and 36 or something. So sometimes it can be quite a lot in that space, which means, as tempting as it might be to use your wildcard, for instance, now to fix something, to maximize that upside with the double game weeks probably makes more sense. And the free hit, again, in an ideal world, you use that when you need it, but there might be a week where in game week 34, for instance, we definitely want it. So I think we have to be patient. We were kind of afforded the license to be a bit less patient in the first half of the season. We have to kind of flip that on its head, I think, for this half of the season and just see how things develop a little bit more. So yeah, it makes logical sense, I think, to wait until around that part of the season.
Trig, what's your thoughts, mate?
Well, this season's a bit different from any other because we can save up our 5 free transfers. So you could potentially play it earlier in game week 24, for example, with 5 free transfers, and just use your transfers to sort out your team for the bench boost. Yeah, I mean, the bench boost is the key this season because it's so much more powerful with even in a double game week, it's more powerful than it normally is in a double game week just because of the DEFCONs. We've seen in the first half some of the bench boosts we've been getting in a single game week. Some people have been getting 20, 30 points from their bench boosts. And having them over 2 matches kind of doubles the effectiveness of them. So really, we want to make sure we've got a good bench boost. But the good news is cheap players do the trick.
The one thing I would say is I think these double game weeks are likely to be so small, we're probably not going to have double game week players on our bench. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess that is a possibility, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually, to be fair. Well, we could have all good single player in our team and have rubbishy doubles players on the bench. But, like the ones that we wouldn't normally start. But they can still do pretty well over 2 matches. But I don't know how small they're going to be. I mean, who says they're going to be very small?
They're going to be small.
Yet.
There's heaps of Premier League teams already out. There's been like 4 Premier League ties already. So there's 4 teams out there. Crystal Palace lost to Macclesfield, and there'll be a couple others that lose to random teams. And that's just after the first round. We've already lost about 6 teams.
I still think you're going to play it on a double game week, though. You're not going to play it in a single week.
I disagree. If I get a really nice bench between now and double game weeks, I think I'll just hit it and get rid of it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, same. The double game. I played it in double game week last year, Trig, and got 6 points. Like and I had no doubles then, like because there was only like 4 teams or whatever doubling. Like people think that there's going to be 10 teams doubling. There's not. There'll be like 4 if best, and probably some of those teams you're not going to want to invest in. Like no one's going to go out and rush to buy Wolves players into their team, or like the Agbadoos and that. They might end up on minus points, let alone getting extra points on your bench. So it's very team dependent. And I just think that waiting for doubles and thinking that there's going to be a lot of teams doubling in a week is like based on last year, the way they've set it up now, there just won't be the case. They'll be like 4 teams.
In that case, you can wildcard in game week 24, and in game week 25, you can wildcard with all your bench boost of all your Burnley players, like you did at the start of the season. Burnley at home to West Ham, Leeds at home to Forest. So if you believe in that theory, just bench boost in game week 25.
Is it Chelsea's fixture string that's the big reason for 24, Trig? You're saying 24?
Yeah, that's why people are... Yeah, and also Man United as well, I think, because they got a couple of really bad ones and then they get better again.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's a few other teams. Bournemouth as well, actually, are pretty good. From 24.
Yeah, Wolves, Aston Villa, Everton, West Ham, Sunderland. Yeah.
And Villa as well.
Yeah. Darius, I cut you off there, mate. What were you going to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, it's just like when you look at the league table, right? People investing in Burnley assets now are just asking for trouble if they're going to bench boost. They're 19th. West Ham are 18th. The only good assets at either of these teams, Dubravka for Burnley, because he's actually been doing pretty good for 4 mil. Bowen's actually performed amazingly well considering how crap West Ham have been. And even Bournemouth. Without Semenyo, I've got very strong fears for how they're going to go. Like they're 15th. Like if West Ham can actually string some wins together, and Forest as well, they're just as crap. Like I think any bench boost should be targeting those teams at the bottom. If you're not investing in those teams, you're asking for trouble. Even in a small double game week, you can get 2 double goalkeepers. So that's the reason allowing to play it in the double game weeks. I think you get 2 keepers. So even if none of your other players have got a double, at least your keepers have. So I'll definitely be playing it in a double game week.
So I've just done a quick poll. When are you using your wild card now? Game week 24, game week 31/32, when we'll know about the doubles, or a different game week. So it'll be interesting to see what the community are doing. Okay,
triple captain, I'd probably play in 24, I think. If Arsenal, probably play it on Gabriel. If Arsenal have got a
26,
double.
you mean? 26.
26, yeah, 26.
Yeah. Is it like Brentford and Wolves or something, isn't it, if they do get it?
Yeah, something like that.
It's very
Just
nice.
to get it out of the way.
Okay, should we move on to have a look at some free hit wildcard drafts? So same as when we did this on the Pubcast a couple of weeks ago, I've got one from a member of the community who actually this time I did remember to ask. I've got one from FPL Review and one that Nick's put together on Solio. So this is from someone called FPL Marmouche, who's doing very well this season, doing better than all us. He's about 50k. You can follow him at FPL_Mamouche. So his wildcard team, and this is obviously for this game week, is Pickford in goal, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Timber, Van de Ven, and Mukulele in defence. Reinders, Fernandes, Rice, Palmer, and Wilson in midfield. Thiago, Haaland, and the Croupier up front, and Dubravka's the goalkeeper on the bench. Roberto, what's your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, I like the look of this one. I think everyone's got Thiago and Haaland by this point, so that's sort of standard. The defence, I'm less keen on Van de Ven just because of Tottenham this season being as they have been, just leaking goals and just very hard to predict. But I like the rest of the defence. The one thing I would say about this is I'm not sure about Palmer or Reinders. I like Fernandes. I like Rice. Reinders for me, when I watch him, I just think like he's that sort of player that can lure you in and think, oh yeah, he's worth it. But he's not been as productive enough, I don't think, this season. And then Palmer's I just don't think he's worth the money at the moment either. So yeah, those are the only points I would probably change. The rest of it, I really like Krupi Jr. as a backup forward. I think he's been really impressive, and especially with Semenyo going, and Evan Nilsson's minutes.
You were calling him out in pre-season, weren't you, Krupi Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, he's really impressed me, and like Evan Nilsson's form hasn't been great, but they've got injuries to other parts of their attack as well, so. You'd think, like Unal, for instance. So you think Krupi's going to get at least some minutes, even if that is off the bench. So I do think he's definitely a good third striker option. And Dubravka, 4.0. Pickford, I like him. So yeah, not too much wrong with this team, to be honest. I think if I was wildcarding, I would probably just want to maybe go for a few more sort of Palace options, maybe like maybe a defender in there, because although Palace have been a bit up and down with their form, they still are a team I'd want to have some investment in, especially with those fixtures.
We're losing the best defender though, probably next week.
Yeah, potentially Gay. I mean, Palace are a team wherever I watch them, I think they've got to be a good side, but I watched them today and they were awful. So they were rested against Macclesfield. That was definitely the case. But yeah, I like the team overall. I think this is solid. Just a couple of tweaks here and there.
Okay, Trig, Darius, any thoughts on this one before we?
I don't like it much, to be honest with you. It's not much different from teams I'm looking at now. Really, I don't like Reinders, and
I don't like him.
Tottenham's fixtures are crap in a few weeks. I mean, West Ham's probably the best fixture, and he's got him on the bench. I mean, what's all that about?
There is really thinking this one, mate. You'll probably end up preferring this one review and solo, knowing you.
To be honest with you, I can understand why people go on a Krupi Jr., but this comes down to team value, and my team value is way better than obviously Marmouche's, because I can definitely afford a lot better player than Krupi Jr. and Reinders in my team. I don't like Palmer. I think he is an absolute waste of money. He's not even close to being anywhere near relevant. I don't know why people are so excited about him. Since Palmer's living off two things at the moment. He's living off the fact that he was good about a year and about 14 months ago. He was great. He's done nothing for 14 months consistently. He's had an odd one game. His good games are more unusual than the bad games or the anonymous games. That's essentially what we're seeing at the moment. Palmer's more indicative of the price he was 2 years ago than the 10.5 he's at now. This season, million. Based on this season, he should be 5.5, not 10.5. Like, he's miles off it. He's not even close. I know Trig's sitting there and he gets excited because he watches too much FPL Harry and Let's Talk, and they're already obsessing about Palmer and the projections love him. But the problem is that he hasn't been delivering. His minutes aren't consistent. And I'm telling you, when you have a groin injury like his that keeps you out for multiple months, your season will not be a good season. Like, he will not be in that form for the rest of the season. I can guarantee it straight off the bat. I played with a groin and I know what it's like. it just lingers. And I dare say he's probably still concerned about it based off what I've seen since he's been back, is my gut feel.
Do you want to come back to that, mate?
He might be right. I haven't seen enough about Palmer yet, but the fixtures are fantastic. But I think by game week 24, we should have a much better idea. I mean it's a new manager as well. Everything's changed.
That's the thing.
We don't know. I mean, Roberto might have the best one in Neto. He's a really awful player who's been messing up all our attacks recently and missing. But at least he's getting a few chances. And
at least you save the money, don't you? You save the money from Palmer because it
doesn't matter if he blanks, does it? Whereas if you're ripping up your team to get Palmer, you really need points. Maybe even Enzo is an option. Or it could be Delap. We don't know yet. Delap could be an interesting option as well. The manager loves him, a new manager. He's worked with him before, loves him. And Delap did score the other day. So it's a lot of money to go to Palmer at this stage. Just on the off chance.
I think I will.
Good.
That's 4 fixtures, though. I mean,
you will, because he'll be top of algorithms.
Oh, will be, yeah. West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley from 24. I mean, I think you've got to go. Can we move on to talking of FPL reviews draft for Darius to get sunk into? So this is Sanchez and Dubravka in goal, Gabriel, Timber, Virgil van Dijk. I don't know what he's doing. Virgil van Dijk, Cash, and Pedro Porro. I did this last night, by the way. It may have changed since then. Saka, Tavernier, Szoboszlai, Foden, Bruno Fernandes. And then, again, as it did last time, it's going with 2 very cheap forwards, Mane, Croupier Jr. and Haaland. I'll let Darius simmer for a minute. Trig, what's your thoughts on this one, mate?
Well, I don't like Szoboszlai. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's got no forwards, and then it's got like a couple of non-midfielders almost. And it still hasn't got
Tavernier a non-midfielder?
It still hasn't got Palmer in the team. So, like, it's making all those concessions and still not got a really good midfield. I mean, it's an okay midfield. Tavernier is okay. But
I'm starting to turn on him.
I think I'd put Wilson in. I'd put Wilson in for Szoboszlai, probably.
But, if you're going with those 2 strikers, you need some compensation elsewhere. And I don't really see it particularly.
It's 32-point Domtree.
It's only got 1 Chelsea player in it. As you're wild carding now, it's going to be having to make more transfers in game week 24. I just don't.
Do you reckon Mane's going to continue his minutes in the team? He's got a bit of risk, and he Darius. And what are your thoughts, mate?
He will, but he won't. You won't ever start him. That's the thing.
No,
he plays for the 20th place team in the league. Like, I don't understand the Mane. I understand it if you're not bench boosting. I understand it, because if you're bench boosting any time of Mane, you're not. It's going to be a shit bench boost. I'm just going to call it out for what it is. Unless you get an unbelievably good luck, it's going to be shit. He's going to get 2 points, maybe 1 point. That's it. Creepy Jr.
That's the problem. Isn't it? You're going to have to rip the team up again.
That's right. Yeah.
Wild card.
Yeah, and that's why I said I was like going look, Bournemouth are 15th, and I reckon they're going to finish very close to 18th, depending on how well West Ham go. I really think Bournemouth are in trouble. I've not seen anything from them prior to that win against Spurs, and they needed a shit team to roll up to beat to actually get a win. They hadn't won a game in over 10 game weeks. They've been in unbelievably horrid form, and they've been leaking goals left, right, and centre. And then, like, what is Review's obsession with Liverpool? Like, what is it? Virgil van Dijk, 5.9 mil. He's only got 75 points for the season. 79. There are so many other defenders that have scored over 80 points this season. It's ridiculous. And then dirty 2-point Dom. How the hell that man is in there with 1 return from the last 11 weeks? All I want to say, Gary, is can you please just press the wildcard button and go to this team so we can all laugh at you?
No, I'm not going to be making that easy to get back.
That's it. It's got Bruno, Haaland, it's got Gabriel, that's it, and Timber. 4 players I like, and Sanchez I don't mind. 5. Why the hell they've got Saka over Rice, I've got no idea. Like, Rice is just a better pick, straight up, and he costs a shitload less. And then you could upgrade Tavernier to an actual useful asset.
Tavernier. Yeah. Listen to that insult.
Where's Thiago? Where's Thiago in this team? Like, reviewer they've lost the plot, mate. I'd cancel your subscription. It's not worth the money.
I will just say that's based on my team value, that wildcard of, was it 101.5 million. So let's move on to draft 3. So I put Solio here, but this is a Solio / Trig draft because I think Trig told it not to pick Szoboszlai. Is that right, Trig?
Yeah, it picked a couple of players that I wasn't happy with. It picked a striker that costs like 5 odd million that doesn't play, and I thought, well, why bother having him in? So I just took him out and put Krupa Jr. in instead.
But it goes in some way how adaptable Solio. So let me just read through it. So Sanchez and Dubravka in goal, Gabriel, Timber, Chalobah, Anderson, Virgil again in defence, midfield Palmer, Fernandes, Tavernier, Rice, and Elliot Anderson, and up front Krupa Jr., Haaland, and Thiago. Yeah, Trig, what do you reckon this draft? And do you like it or?
Yeah, I don't mind this one. It's more amenable to a bench boost. There's not so much needs to be done for a bench boost with this team. It's got the 3 Arsenal players in place for game week 26. It's also got 3 Chelsea players for game week 24. So wildcard in this team, you can just save your transfers for like the next 3 or 4 weeks and build up to 5 free transfers. So then you can sort your bench boost out with free transfers rather than having to wildcard into it like a lot of people have been doing. And I think it's got most of the assets people are chasing at the moment, hasn't it? There's not really anyone missing that I can see there.
No. There's no one on my to buy list. I don't think there's not there.
Well, why is Virgil van Dijk in there? 5.9 million. Absolute fraud at that price. And also, like, I know that Solio loves him, Trig. And I wonder, my question from the chat is how much is Solio paying for you to show this on the stream in this stream?
He's not. I asked him to make it.
What don't you like? The Andersons.
They paid me 20p.
Virgil and the Fulham's Anderson are just not good picks. Like, you could pick Mukiele, who's got 92 points, Trig. Mukiele's got 92 points on the season. Anderson's got 76. He's beaten him by 16 and he costs even less than Anderson does.
You don't get the points that have already gone, Darius. That's what you and Nightmares seem to get everywhere. You're always going on about how many points people have scored rather than how many.
Mukiele's going to score more points than Anderson.
Anderson's defence, Fulham's defence has improved a lot since Robinson came back. And
it has.
Actually, Robinson, with the money, Robinson would actually be a better pick, I think.
Exactly. So why is Anderson in there?
This is not enough money for Robinson.
Sell Palmer then. Palmer's a fraud.
He's not on about my Anderson again, is he?
Yeah, get him gone.
I mean, it's Palmer.
It's the backline one. Like the backline one, Anderson and Virgil, I don't understand those picks. Like, they're just horrid picks. You can pick so many better defenders than those two that do the same thing that you're picking them for. You can pick plenty of DC players that get more points than those two idiots.
I'd get Anderson, the other Anderson, gone as well. I don't see the hype on him.
Where's Wilson?
Like, Forrest, I'd put Wilson in for Anderson.
Roberto.
He costs more money, I think, doesn't he? How much is Wilson?
5.9. So you got to upgrade.
Yeah, it's a bit more money. Another $500,000.
Tell Virgil down to the car, get the money.
I don't like the choir, actually. I'm a bit I'm very negative on Palace, especially if they lose Gahey. I'm actually I know I own the choir, but I wouldn't be buying him in a wild card.
I don't think they're losing Gahey. I reckon he stays the season and goes to Arsenal on a free.
But I mean, I don't actually think this is an ideal week to wildcard, but if I did, I quite like this team.
Lads, can we get to the poll results? Because I'm going to do another poll. So when are people planning to wildcard? I'd say hello to FPL Pep Talk. He's there as a mate of mine. Game week 31/32, 36%. Game week 24, 28%. a different game week 22%, now as in this game week 14%. It's fairly split, isn't it? Not really any massive. What do you reckon to that, Roberto?
I think it makes sense though with what Darius was saying about the international break. You know, going around game week 31, 32, when we're going to have a few weeks to see players' fitness, FA Cup, that sort of thing. And it's always nice, I think, when you wildcard to just do it like in that sort of period of the season where it's kind of the run-in and you've just got a stretch of matches where you can kind of see what's ahead of you. And by 31, 32, we'll sort of have a fairly good idea of what's to go. Whereas if you do it in 24, you might just, you know, wildcard at the time thinking it's the best time. Then the fixtures move around in a way that you kind of wish you'd saved it. So yeah, I think I prefer that sort of part of the season.
Okay, I'm just going to do another quick poll. Which wildcard draft did you prefer? Marmouches, which is probably spelt wrong, but I don't care. Reviews, Solios, or none of them? They're rubbish. So let us know which one you prefer. I'll quickly show them again for people voting. So that is FPL Marmouches. That is FPL Reviews. And that is Solio Analytics. So talking of last week's points, Trig, Darius has prepared this slide for us, and I'm going to let him talk us through it while I go and powder my nose. Darius?
Sorry, I was just responding to the chat and the thing. All right, so this is the team. So FYI, this actually blew my mind when I put this together today and made a video out of it. This team cost you $99.5 million at the beginning of the season. $99.5 million. Just look at it now. It's worth $107 million, this team. If you'd literally set it up in the exact formation like this, which is literally how the points have fallen this season, Roofs and goal, Gabriel, Gahey, Jurian Timber, Rice, Semenyo, Bruno G, Bruno Fernandes, Wilson, Haaland, Thiago, with that on the bench, and your perma-captain Haaland, you would be number 7 in the world right now, based on the points. You would actually be higher. You might actually be not world number 1 because obviously Gabriel's missed a few games through injury. Bruno Fernandes missed a few games through injury. Wilson missed a few games through injury. So did Thiago. So he would have got points off the bench as well when they didn't get their points. So you'd actually probably be world number 1 if you'd somehow managed to miraculously fall upon this team at the beginning of the year. The only problem is that trying to pick the players at the beginning of the year is always hard work because some teams, like we saw with Nottingham Forest, completely dropped the bundle. They fooled me. And then Aston Villa to begin the season, they fooled me as well. I thought that they looked like they were in good form in pre-season and they started the season unable to score a goal. And that's only recently that they've started to correct it. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting that the fact that this team that has scored the most points up to game week 22 as things stand would have been number 7 in the world if you just got there. You wouldn't even have to make a transfer. That's without bench boost, without triple captain, without any chip being played. If you'd started with that team, that's where you'd be. It's actually insane when you think about it.
Last night, if I'd picked 3, 17, 19, 23, 31, 39 and 40, I'd be worth $30 million today on last night's lotto.
But no, it just goes to show that the reason why I did it is to show that your starting team can dictate how your season goes. Like if you pick a shit starting team and you wait too long to wildcard, which is probably what I did at the beginning of the season because I believed in it, then that's how you have a dud season. But if you somehow manage to pick players that dominate from the beginning, you'll have a very good season. That's what I was trying to point out with it more than anything else. Because trying to pick them all is obviously impossible. You're not going to pick them all. It's like, well, you could, but it'd be like winning the lotto. It's realistically not going to happen. But I look at my starting team. I didn't have the only players I had from this in my starting team are Bruno. That was it. That's all I had.
Probably would have sold.
I'd Bowen and Bruno. And that was it.
If you'd had this team in game week 1, you probably would have sold half of them. I mean, you would have sold Gabriel at some stage. You would have sold Wilson because he didn't get any points at the start. You'd have sold Thiago and.
I don't think you would have sold Thiago. Thiago scored right from the beginning, a bit like Semenyo. So like some players really return straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Semenyo and Chalobah were the only two that I had in my Game Week 1 team.
Do you have him now? Do you have him now?
I have Semenyo. Oh, sorry, no, I don't have either now. So
Chelsea in front, by the way, Trig.
That's my point.
yeah.
Hey?
Chelsea in front. Goal to Hato, I believe.
Oh, Hato. He's
that's what they're saying.
He was completely ignored by Maresca. He was the captain of Ajax. Really good young player came in. Really good head on his shoulders. Chelsea lacked leaders, and Maresca just didn't give him a chance the whole time. Thank God Maresca's gone, a little prick. So
like it's really weird. So some of these players here, they've really come on strong like the last 6 or 7 weeks. So like Wilson's just been on an absolute tear, and I bought him in the week he got the 16 points. He's been great ever since. He was great before, like the 4 weeks before that as well. Bruno G, I bought him in for the 10 and 7. I probably shouldn't have sold him, to be honest, because I didn't think he'd continue that on, but he's outperformed. I bought Rice in very early on in the piece because I just saw how good he was doing. I was like, that's unbelievable good value for what he's offering, and he's delivered on the goods. Top scoring midfielder in the game. And Chalobah I bought in on Wildcard 6. Like, I thought he was good, and he has been good. He's probably been Chelsea. He's been Chelsea's best player, Trig, ironically. The only one that has consistently played 90 minutes every single week, except when obviously old mate got him sent off for that horrendous back pass.
You know what? I think looking at this, how many of these would you have predicted would have been in this team pre-season? Gabriel, yeah. Haaland, yeah. Fernandes, yeah. I'm not sure about the other ones.
Exactly.
Timber, probably.
FPL Talks asked me to ask you, Roberto, is he going to be a Semenyo fan with me or disown him now he's at City?
Oh, no. Always a Semenyo fan. Yeah, he was brilliant Game Week 1. And I just think every time you watch him, like he's a sort of player that makes you sort of get on the edge of your seat. The only problem with him going to City is I fear that what often happens to a lot of exciting players where, you think, oh, they're such a joy to watch. Grealish and exactly, yeah. You worry that, yeah, he should play, but will he sort of lose that wow factor because he's got loads of other players that will sort of hog the chances, or because he's just so used to being the number one player at Bournemouth. But yeah, no, I think I still love him as a player. It's just, will he be the same that we used to? Probably not. But that's the same with so many players, isn't it? They just have to eventually they move on. But yeah, he was incredible for Bournemouth for a long time.
Okay, shall we move on to our next section, right? So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I may have written this last slide when I was a little bit drunk the other day, and I was going to take it out, but then FPL Nightmare encouraged me to keep it in. Maybe we'll do a poll whether you like this section or not. It was just basis I threw in. It's called Kiss, Marry, Avoid, FPL style, right? So Kiss, Marry, Avoid. I've never actually seen the TV program. If you like something, it's a common game, isn't it? Like Kiss, Marry, Avoid. Marry, I would want to spend the rest of my life with them. Kiss, I like them, but they're not the greatest thing in the world. Avoid, they're terrible. And I've got 3 picks that I'm gonna throw out to each of the lads to see who they would kiss, marry, and avoid. So let's go with number 1. Trig Roberto. We'll work into this. Roberto's probably more up for it as a young person. Then Trig said he was going to blush when this came up. Who would you kiss? Who would you marry? Who would you avoid, Roberto? Raya, Pickford, or Kelleher, and why?
So I think as an FPL pick, I would probably marry Raya, just because you know what you're going to get. And the only problem is that he's taking up an Arsenal spot. But with the other two, they can, like, if you're looking across the season, then it's Raya for sure. The other two, yeah, he is expensive, but the other two, you just don't know what you're getting from week to week. You might jump on that 14-pointer the week that someone decides to do a Panenka penalty and get a Keller-style haul. Or you might get in Pickford the week that Grealish decides to get sent off and Everton concede.
I'm marrying Keller. I've already posted in my engagement ring. will have me after
I think you know across the season that Raya's going to get enough clean sheets that and because the other thing is as well, he plays every game. So although you will get points from other Arsenal defensive picks, they won't be fit all season. But somehow, I don't know how Raya does it. He just finds ways to never get injured. It seems like most of the time. So yeah, it's just ever present, and I'd probably say that. And then avoid. I'd probably say Everton, even though I actually have Pickford right now. I think Pickford, he was great when I brought him in, but the problem with Everton is they always do this, and Pickford often does this. Is that they'll go on a run of about 5 or 6 games where you think, okay, they're going to be a really solid defense all season, and then second half of the season they just fall apart. So yeah, I think Kelleher, he's only been, a sort of starting keeper for a very sort of short amount of time, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll go for a void on Pickford.
Okay, Trig, kiss, marry, avoid Van Heck, Mukulele, or Whacking Anderson.
Well, if I married Raya, there'd be a lot of clean sheets, all right. I think I'd marry Palmer on the grounds he's got a dodgy groin and I'd be safe at night. But in terms of
Kelly Anderson, you Wally.
I think I'd marry Anderson. Get steady returns every week.
I'd murder him.
You've got to do a Marion and avoid as well, Trig.
I'd avoid Iga Jesus because of his price, he's not any better than Krupa Jr. probably.
No, the three I asked you, Trig: Van Heck, Mukulele, or Anderson. One you have to marry, one you have to avoid, one you have to kiss. So which one do you like? Which one's okay, and which one do you hate?
I didn't say this would make me blush. I said it would make me cringe because it's pathetic. All right, let's have a look. I'm going to.
Trig's going to look them up on
I'm going to avoid Van Heck, and I'm going to kiss Mukiele, apparently.
Okay, all right. Darius, Wilson, Anderson, Elliot Anderson, Tavernier. Kiss, marry, avoid.
Oh, where's Dirty 2-Point Dom? So I could say we can murder him. I'm marrying Wilson. That dude is a gun. I'd kiss Anderson and fuck off Tavernier.
Roberto, Rice, Bruno Guimaraes, Rogers. Obviously, I'm trying to group these as similar prices.
I'd say marry Rice, kiss Rogers, and avoid Bruno G. Is what I go for.
Oh, FPL Nightmare, won't you like you there? Trig, Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, Saka. Kiss, marry, avoid.
Marry Bruno, kiss Palmer, avoid Saka. Although they're probably all marrying material, I'd say.
Yeah. Darius, I think I know which way this one's going to go. Kiss, marry, avoid DCL, who you literally already are married to. I don't know how Ash hasn't dumped you yet. Igor Jesus or Krupa Jr.
I think I'm avoiding Igor Jesus because Timu Jesus sucks. He never shows up to support the channel, so he can fuck off. Krupa Jr. will give him a kiss. And of course I'm marrying the DCL unit. That dude is my boy. He's literally me. I've blessed him with my footballing ability, and now he's scoring goals. So I'm claiming it till the cows come home. Ever since we put my picture on his body, he has dominated, absolutely dominated. It's not a coincidence, folks. The unit has blessed him, and he's delivering the goods.
Chris asked me that, how drunk were you when you did this section? You sure you're drunk? Well, maybe I just wanted to do a bit of kiss, marry, and avoid.
Gary, by the way, did you spelling error? I know that Anderson are not like Anderson is SEN for the defender, by the way.
Okay.
Shit player, I know, but you're doing him a disservice by spelling his name wrong, and you've had him in your team. You should know better.
Roberto, wrap up this section for us, which is never going to happen again. Bowen, Watkins, Mateta, kiss, marry, avoid.
This is tricky because I don't love all of them. I could avoid all three, but I'll say marry Watkins, kiss a Bowen, and avoid Mateta. I'll go there.
Okay. All right, let's move on to. We only lost 20 viewers during that, so it could have been worse. Let's move on to Darius's Game Week 22 team. So Darius is currently playing, and obviously these are going to be very early thoughts, but he's currently playing Sanchez at home to Brentford, Gabriel away to Nottingham Forest, Mukelele at home to Crystal Palace, Chalobah at home to Brentford, Bruno G away to Wolves, Wirtz at home to Burnley, Foden away to Manchester United, Wilson, his main man, away to Leeds, Nottingham Forest Rice away to Nottingham Forest, Haaland away to Man United, Bowen away to Spurs, and your captain's still on Gabriel, mate. So yeah, talk through him.
Yeah, I mean, I know that City spanked 10 today past Exeter City, but Haaland played 46 minutes against a League One, League Two team, whatever they are, and did nothing. I don't know why he played. I actually don't know why he played. I don't understand why Pep rolled him out, and he was shit again. So to be honest, honestly, Man United's probably actually a pretty good fixture for Haaland, but based off the points per game and the fact that Arsenal's defence is just ridiculously good, and the fact that Nottingham Forest don't score many goals, and the way they pump the ball into the box equals DC for any team that they play against, Gabriel seems like a bit of a no-brainer as captain this week, to be honest. So I think I'm going to go back there again. I mean, he's the second highest averaging points per game player in the game. So there's every reason to think he can deliver the goods there. And Forest are not very good. So makes a bit of sense. My transfer obviously was Cunha out. He was shit. As I said, if it wasn't for Bruno Fernandes getting injured, he would never have been in the team. So he's gone. Yeah, down. See, it says there, Cunha to Bruno G.
Yeah, no, but you often send me potential. So
No. This is the team. This is the team. FYI, this will be in the video on Monday. The other things I am weighing up are obviously O'Reilly's now a big issue. And to be honest, with Semenyo coming in, I think Foden's an issue as well. And to be honest, I think that I'm going to move away from only just having one City player, and that will be Haaland. And I think that in reality, they will probably become Jurriën Timber. O'Reilly will become Jurriën Timber. I might even do it for this game week. It just depends on whether I think he's a better pick for a -4 than someone else. Definitely open to that. I'm also open to playing Verbruggen over Sanchez. That's the other big issue I've got. But other than that, Tarkowski's definitely last on the bench. Everton have been poor the last couple of weeks, so he's 100% last. Thiago's stiff to miss out, but it is Chelsea, and I do expect Chelsea to play pretty well at the Bridge. So other than that, I think the team looks pretty good otherwise. And I've got 3.2 million in the bank, so I can do whatever the hell I want pretty much. So it's a nice position to be in.
I would be tempted to do Bowen to Watkins or something like that, I think. Bowen's a waste of time.
Trig, this is where you're wrong. He's the third top scoring forward in the game, Trig.
Oh, yeah, again, you're looking at past points and not future points.
Yeah, but when
two new strikers, he's hopeless.
That means there's more chances for him to actually get assists because they're going to score more goals. Who's going to be supplying him?
Keep him. It's going to make it harder for you to catch us up.
Nah, you'll see. He's my differential beast.
Roberto, do you agree with me? Darius has made his move already before the FA Cup games. Nightmare did the same. He said in his video he'd gone Voltemade to Thiago, I think. I mean, you're asking the club, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the early transfers. I just think anything can happen, even if it's not necessarily in the FA Cup games, but, you know, the amount of times where players can become flagged, you know, on the Thursday before a deadline out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but, you know, each to their own, whatever floats your boat. But sometimes it can go crashing down when early transfers are made. So I get it. There's certain players you think, oh, well, it'll be fine. You'll get away with it. And you might well do, but just you don't want to be on the wrong side of that FPL early transfer curse. So yeah, I don't love it personally.
I think Darius he's got enough team value already where he doesn't need to be making all these early transfers now. And we've already seen news this week, like Aït-Nouri's just been knocked out of AFCON. So he's coming back. Be available for the next match. So that puts O'Reilly in further doubt. So instead of getting rid of Cunha, I'd have been looking at taking out O'Reilly for Timber. If you're captaining Gabriel, why wouldn't you put Timber in your team as well?
I didn't need a defender. Got Mukiele and Chalobah and Gabriel. I'm only playing 3 at the back, so O'Reilly was
all right.
Yeah, so like I don't actually need him, so that's why I've left him there.
Bench Bowen.
If you want to captain someone else, you know, I don't hate.
Have you seen Spurs? They're crap. They are crap. They literally they conceded 3 goals to Bournemouth who haven't won a game in 10 game weeks, and you're trying to tell me I shouldn't play Bowen against probably one of the easiest fixtures in the league. Spurs are shit. Like there's no. Like they are the Fulham that I've said all season. Like they are woeful, and they are woeful. And Jared Bowen will return against Spurs, and will return here for the lock-in when he has returned.
I do agree with Darius on this. I do think Bowen is a decent pick. Sorry, Bowen.
Yeah, against Tottenham, I don't mind if you wanted to go captaincy on an Arsenal player. Rice, I don't hate, to be honest, because you know he's on set pieces and. The thing with Arsenal is they probably will keep a clean sheet, but just on the off chance they don't, you know, Rice might potentially give you a route to captaincy points. I don't know.
Again, they've got a massive game in midweek. You know, if any of their defenders get injured, then you're not going to want to captain Gabriel because they're already short and very risky going early this week.
Okay, let's move on to Trig's team. So Trig is the only one of us that's got a lot of transfers. So Trey's got 3 free transfers. He's got 0.7 in the bank. He's currently rolling with Sanchez at home to Brentford, Gabriel away to Forest, Lacroix away to Sunderland, Virgil at home to Burnley, Joachim Anderson away to Leeds. He's playing a 4-4-2. Shirky and Foden away to Man United. Vice captain Saka away to Nottingham Forest. Cunha at home to Man City, Haaland cap away to Man United, Thiago against Chelsea with Tarkowski, Elliot Anderson and Gooey on the bench. Talk to
Yeah, don't really like my team much this week. I mean, Shirky played the entire 90 minutes against Exeter for some reason. I only got 1 assist. Foden obviously didn't start, but I think that Man United game is going to be tough. Isn't Maguire back? And you know, I think they're going to be tough, United, tougher than they were under Amorim. And
they'll be up for it.
I'm not very confident this week.
I think they'll be easier. I think
about Ekitike. Oh, maybe, but I'm worried about Ekitike. I can't do much about that, unfortunately.
Didn't you have Verts, Trig? Didn't you have Verts?
Yeah, I did at one stage, but he was supposedly had a hamstring, so I had to take him out, and then he. Turns out he didn't have a hamstring and he got 10 points. I should have just kept him. He would have been better than Cherky, who I swapped to. I'd have been much better off.
Yeah, and Cherky got benched, didn't he, against Brighton?
Yeah, I got 4 points from him the first week I had him and then 1 point against Brighton. So I'm already looking at getting rid of him. I'm potentially doing Cunha to Fernandez and Cherky to either Wilson, Tavernier, or somebody like that. So, which would only leave me, well, it's still give me 2 free transfers next week, I guess. But I'm considering rolling so that I've got 5 transfers in game week 24. So, but either or. Cunha, you never know. Cunha could score against City. City concede.
Your team really is dependent on how City do, aren't they?
I think he could start on the bench, to be honest. I thought he was poor against the other night. And I think that depending on who the manager becomes, if it's Darren Fletcher, like Shea Lacey deserves a start. And then Bumo's coming back. And Ahmad might be back before next weekend as well. To be honest, like Cunha's not been good. Like, and to be honest, if they were all there, I'd be benching Cunha. Like, he's not been good enough to be. I think others should be starting ahead of him. And if they change to that 4-2-3-1, I dare say he's nowhere near as good off the left as probably Mason Mount is in that formation. And if Mount's fit, I'd be starting him over Cunha and putting Cunha on the bench and playing Bruno on the 10 and then Mbeumo, Ahmad off the right and Šeško up top. Like, Šeško's in form now, so you've got to play him. I think Cunha
probably am.
Probably under threat.
There's no point keeping him because they're playing Arsenal away the following week. So there's not really any point me keeping him. So I will be getting rid of him. I was thinking of Rice, just getting Rice in.
Do it.
Yeah, Rice the Cunha's the move I was thinking.
Yeah, and then if I want Palmer or anything, then I can take Saka out and still have Rice there.
Yeah.
At some stage. So I'm thinking long term. If I was wildcarding in game week 24, I would want Rice, wouldn't I? So I'm trying to. I want to buy somebody that I would want in game week 24, and it would definitely be Rice. I think Tavernier or Wilson, I'd also probably want in 24 for Shirky.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to make any moves that make my game week 24 team worse. So rather than save for transfers, I can do a couple of them a bit early. And I think that's a decent idea. I still have 2 transfers next week.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking pretty good. You're looking pretty, so you're 115k or whatever it is, 130, and you've got 3 free transfers in the bank. I think you're pretty well set, mate, I'd say.
Yeah. I just don't like the team for this week particularly. But like I said, that's because I've got 3 City there. If I get rid of one of them, and I'll see what happens in the. They're playing Newcastle, aren't they, midweek? So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Can we move on to young Roberto's team? So Roberto is same as me. He's only got 1 free transfer, but he's got a bit more money than me. He's got 1.6 million in the bank. He's currently rolling with Pickford away to Villa, Robinson away to Leeds, Lacroix on a 4-3 here. Lacroix away to Sunderland, Cow away to Wolves, Wilson away to Leeds, Gordon away to Wolves, Foden away to Man United, Tavernier away to a lot of aways here, away to Brighton, Thiago away to Chelsea, Watkins at home to Everton, 1 player at home, and then Haaland captain away to Man United with Neto, Collins, and O'Brien on the bench. Talk us through it, Roberto, mate.
Yeah, 1 free transfer. My thought is I need a bit of Arsenal this week against Nottingham Forest.
You've got no Arsenal players in your entire team. Bloody hell.
Yeah. So I feel like I do need an Arsenal defender, but it's deciding whether I go Chow to, let's say, an Arsenal defender, or I end up selling O'Brien, because I do feel that double Everton defence is probably a little bit too much at the moment. So it's working out who I swap out, but it most likely will be Timber or Gabriel probably that I bring in.
Are you not feeling naked about Gabriel? Because that's how I felt last week before I got him in.
Yeah, Gabriel or Timber was probably one of those 2. Most likely it will be Gabriel if I can afford it, but just if I go from Chow to Gabriel, I've got the funds for that. Actually, have I? No, I haven't. I'm 0.1 out. So I'd have to sell someone a bit more expensive than Chow, but maybe an O'Brien, for instance. But yeah, all in all, it's not terrible. I think it's just a couple. It's one. Actually, to be fair, O'Brien's actually cheaper than Chow. So in my team, so I probably would have to go Timber unless I sold Lacroix. But again, I'm not really sure that's the defender I want to sell at this point. Actually, I can't even afford that. So yeah, basically, in most scenarios, I'd have to get Timber, not Gabriel, because I just don't have enough funds.
Sure, you've not got enough money for Lacroix to Gabriel.
No, Lacroix to Gabriel, I'm 0.1 out.
Oh, he's probably gone up again, isn't he? He's probably 6'7", 6'8".
He's 6'7" now. Yeah.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Yeah. So it's looking like Timber probably, which I'm fine with. I do like Timber, and then the midfield, like Foden and Gordon. I'm not sure Foden will become a problem. I know with Semenyo going there, the minutes will be a bit spread out, but I don't think he's suddenly going to stop playing altogether. Still somewhat okay with him, and then Gordon, I'm a little bit more meh about, but I a lot of these midfielders I've kind of given the benefit of the doubt, like Neto, for instance.
Wolves, I mean,
yeah, away to Wolves is a good fixture, and Neto, I want to hold him for when Chelsea's fixtures turn good. So I think most likely it'll just be the one change, and then I'll probably bring them in for Chow most likely. And then whether or not I bench Collins again, because whenever I bench Collins, he goes and gets big hauls. But I don't know whether I'll play Collins over Lacroix or Robinson potentially.
Darius, any thoughts on young Roberto's team here?
I actually think I really love Roberto's team. I think that's good. The only issue I'd be potentially worried you could run into it is the Tavernier and Gordon picks and the Jow pick. Like, Newcastle do not know how to defend. They will concede against Wolves 100%. I'd actually probably prefer playing Collins over Jow based off what I've seen the last 2 games from Newcastle. We conceded 3 goals to Bournemouth. They've barely got a defence that's fit. Livramento went down for what looked like a serious hamstring today. And they conceded 3 to Leeds as well midweek. So, to be honest, I said a couple of weeks ago, I thought like Jow was a trap, particularly when he scored again. And I was like, yeah, he got lucky he was playing Crystal Palace, to be honest, because I feel like Crystal Palace, they just can't score a goal at the moment. But other than that, those are the only issues in your team. Otherwise, I really like the rest of it. I love the Wilson pick. I think Foden actually will come good. He runs in spurts. Like Foden's, I think he's like the 7th top scoring midfielder. He's literally done it off 6 weeks, like 6 weeks of good football. The other weeks have been pretty, nondescript. But he's like one of them players that he'll go on a run of games where he does nothing, and then he'll go nuclear for like 6 weeks, and he gets.
When I sell him to Bruno, that's when it starts, Darius.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. Trig, have you got any thoughts on his team, or can we go on to my team?
It looks pretty good, I think, doesn't it?
Maybe I get Chalobah back in.
I don't think you bother getting Gabriel. Don't bother getting Gabriel. You've gone this far without him. Get Chalobah instead.
Could do. I could do Chalobah for Chow, but I don't know. And do we trust Chelsea defence even with those fixtures? I'm not sure.
It's 2-0 now to Chelsea. They're doing well today. I think you do trust them. I think you go Chalobah because he's a good goal scorer. We've seen that this season.
So maybe.
Okay. Let's move
Gabriel's
on.
A lot of money. You're just getting a player that you're paying more than everyone else paid for him. So that's
I can't afford Gabriel anyway. To be fair, so
don't worry about him.
Okay, could you do? Hold on, Roberto. Just go back to Roberto's team. Sorry for 1 sec. Could you not do Neto? Hold on. Let me just think about this for a second. Could you not do Neto down to like a? This is going to sound ridiculous, but it's definitely possible. We'll give you the money to get Gabriel. You could do Neto down to like a Casemiro. That gives you 1.6 million. That's enough to get from Lacroix or Jow up to whatever. Don't knock a Trig. Casemiro's got more points than almost all his midfielders on the team other than Wilson and Foden. He scored more points than Neto, scored more points than Tavernier. He scored more points than Gordon. Like, he's not the worst pick in the world. And I think I'd
rather delete my team than put Casemiro in.
I'm just saying, there's other picks you could do to make it happen. Like, I feel like that.
But then you're taking a hit for it. That's the only problem.
Yeah, it's another example of Darius going on about players that have got points. And
so Gabriel's not going to get any more. Trick, is that what you're saying?
I think going forward, Neto's going to get more than Casemiro.
Gabriel.
I thought you were about to say more than Gabriel then. Yeah, that would have been a crazy.
I think Chalobah can outscore Gabriel in the next 6.
Yeah, but like, look at his team. Like, he needs a defender that's not Jow on his team.
I think I need an Arsenal player. That's what I'm thinking. I think no Arsenal is probably a problem.
It will be if we get a double game week.
Let's move on to my team.
Have a problem.
So I have got. Look at this, lads. A fight I have never played. Right, I probably won't play this, but look at that beautiful 5-4-1 formation. I love it aesthetically. So I've got 1 free clearance, 0.6 in the bank. Currently playing Keller away to Chelsea, Gabriel and Timber away to Nottingham Forest. Similar to your team, a lot of ways. Hall away to Wolves, Lacroix away to Sunderland, Anderson away to Leeds, Szoboszlai home to Burnley, Cunha home to Man City, Foden away to Man United, Saka away to Nottingham Forest, Haaland captain away to Manchester United, and then, as I say, it will probably change, but currently I've got Tavernier and Thiago on my bench. So I'm viewing this. I wish I had those 3 transfers back, Trig, because I want to get 3 players in over the next few weeks. I want to get Palmer. I want to get Rice, but obviously in order to get him, I have to get rid of Saka. That would be the Arsenal player to get rid of. And I also want to get Fernandes in. So I've already pretty much planned my transfers. I'm going to roll this week, injuries permitting. And, you can talk about a bench if you want. That could change. We're a week out. And so my transfer is basically going to be, let's see if I can remember the order. Saka out in 2 game weeks' time, as well as Cunha to get in Rice and Palmer. And then the week after that, obviously this is all injury permitting, Foden to Bruno Fernandes. So that would be in game week 25, I guess. And I'd be pretty happy with that. So, Darius, do your worst, my friend.
Thoughts on the Chelsea game, Trig?
They're doing very well. 2-1.
They
they conceded.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that.
I thought that's why Darius was saying thoughts on the Chelsea game. He was hoping I didn't know, and he was going to hit me with Charlton scoring.
I was expecting more of a reaction from Trig when they conceded, because I was like, I know he's watching, but he was motionless. He just
they're going to be fine. They're not going to lose against Charlton, are they?
I only just checked when you said it.
To be honest, I don't know why you're playing dirty 2-point Dom. I don't think he gets more than I don't think he gets more than 3 points. I'd probably play Tavernier instead. I think he probably gets more points. Other than that, I think you've probably got it right. I'm benching Thiago as well, but I just don't rate. Have you made a transfer? How many? You got 1 transfer.
Well, I'm going to roll. Probably.
He's made the same mistake as Tom Dollimore. He's played one of the Anderson sisters rather than play Thiago. And Dollimore was on moaning that he'd left 17 points on his bench because he played Fulham's Anderson instead, as if that wasn't his own fault. And then this to me looks like review's order, but he's put it in the review.
It is.
The review's told him to bench Tavernier, Thiago, and play Anderson. But who in their right mind is going to play Anderson to get away at a free scoring leads rather than Thiago, who scored 5 goals in the last 2 matches, has scored more Premier League goals this season than any Brazilian in the entire history of the Premier League.
Really?
And 16 goals. No Brazilian has ever scored more than 16 goals in a season in the Premier League. He's in the form of his life, absolutely on fire. Brentford are 7th in the table. Instead, he'd rather play Anderson.
Look how beautiful the formation looks.
I agree, Trig. Gary's lost the plot. If you're playing dirty 2-point Dom and Anderson over Thiago and Tavernier, you've probably got some issues going on, I reckon.
Roberto, give me a this pass from a sensible person. What do you think of this beautiful, aesthetically pleasing Cree lineup, Cree formation?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. You're going to have to get over Christmas because this team needs a rude awakening. I mean, Thiago should be starting. Thiago should be starting for sure. Tavernier should be starting.
I could switch them. Don't pay attention to the bench. And you go on, mate.
Yeah. No, I would definitely sell Anderson and Cunha. And then, make sure you start Thiago, start Tavernier. The rest of it's fine, though, to be honest. So I think Szoboszlai has been getting unfair abuse, to be honest, because he's one of those players that, all right, his free kick against Arsenal wasn't as good as the reverse fixture, but when he's on the money, he can be great. And I think
once every 12 weeks, Roberto. Once every 12 weeks.
Once in a blue moon.
Probably
Have you
against
seen the
Blue
Burnley.
Moon.
stick, Roberto, they've been given to your former temporary podcast host, co-host Kanji the last few weeks? It's been a bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a bloodbath.
It certainly has. It certainly has. I'm sticking up for Kanji for sure.
He's held him all
I
season.
think
He
there
had
are.
one
You
return.
know, Kenji's big problem is like Gary. He looked at review, saw Szoboszlai's name at the top and thought, I've got to have this idiot because I've just got to have him. But if he'd actually looked at the FPL website, he would have seen he'd done nothing for about 8 weeks before he bought him. And would have realised.
I'm a bit worried this week, though, Darius. They are home to Burnley. Szoboszlai could get something this week. He's
They
on
scored 1 goal
corners and
last time, Trig. 1 goal the last time. I've got no concerns. I think Liverpool are going to struggle to beat them.
yeah, but this isn't last time. You
Chelsea
never
scored
know.
first.
He could get some fluky points quite easily this week.
Gilly scored.
I'm not surprised. It's top player.
Oh, bloody hell.
Put it this way, I much prefer Szoboszlai to Anderson from Forest. That's my point I'll make.
Well, Anderson scored a lot more points, hasn't he?
This week,
Anderson's been getting
I
4
agree with you.
points when he's been getting 2.
Overall, I think Anderson from Forest will outscore Szoboszlai this season. Szoboszlai doesn't get. I'll tell you what, Szoboszlai this week. I mean, Bradley's injured. He could be playing as a defender this week against Burnley.
Nah,
Probably gonna play
Frimpong.
right back.
Frimpong.
And you won't even get defensive contributions because you're playing Burnley, but you won't get any attacking returns either. But over the season, I think that Anderson of Forest will outscore Szoboszlai. He just gets 4 points every week, and then the occasional
agree with that.
assist. So
He's up by 16
Szoboszlai
points.
is just going to get the occasional assist, but he's not going to get the defensive contributions every week.
He's up by 16 points at the moment. So Anderson's outscored him by 16 points already.
Exactly, and he's over 1 million less. So
Yep.
I don't see any reason why that wouldn't continue.
You could buy Stack, who's outscored Szoboszlai by over 20 points for 4.9 million.
And Salah will be back soon, so he won't even be on these mythical penalties that they never get anyway.
A couple of
1 in
penalties,
21
might be
weeks, the last time I checked, was the counter. 1 in 21 weeks.
If they do get one, it'll be created by Salah anyway, and he's not there at the moment. So I don't know where they're going to get one from.
Okay.
Top man, that Louis.
Right. That's end the poll. Right, so we'll end the stream. I'm gonna end the poll if I hit the right button. So the poll was when are you going to wildcard? Where are the results gone? It's disappeared. Darius or Trig, can you see the results and read it out for us? Because I don't know why it's disappeared for me.
Paul.
Yep, I've got you.
Yeah.
19% for Solio. None of them, they're all rubbish. 63%. Marmouche is 13% and reviews 5%.
Poor review. Poor review.
Not a surprise.
No, I thought Marmouche's might have done a bit better.
No, they like mine the best. Look, mine's a favourite out of the 3 that were shown.
I think the majority thought they were all shit.
Yeah, but they're always, if you're going to put that option, they're always going to say that because they think they're being funny.
Okay, all right.
Just
So
being honest.
we're going to wrap up. Please do like the stream and subscribe if you're new around here. Please join us. I'll hand to everyone for last thoughts in a minute. Please join us for the FPL Pubcast. This went back to the normal time because we're back in normal game weeks now of 6 p.m. on Wednesday, where we're once again joined by the ghost, Roberto. Trig will be able to have a week off without Darius. What, a day off without Darius? Heck, because all
He's going to be lost. He's going to be like, where is that guy?
All right, let me get a second. Guess who's joining us, ladies and gentlemen? He'll be making some
balls call.
Could you hear that? Big Balls Calls.
Yeah.
Will be joined
It's
by
quite
FPL
low.
Nightmare. We'll be joined by. Well, that's his sort for recording it. Let me pump the volume up.
Big
Some
balls call.
Big Balls Calls from FPL Nightmare. Lads, tell me, I've seen a few people asking in the chat, Darius, tell us where you can find us. Darius, a lot of people in the chat are saying these are going to be a Man United watch along. You did mention it earlier tomorrow.
Yeah, high percentage chance there will be. I'm literally about to about to post the video in about 15 minutes once I put the chapters in. They'll be live now, and then I will look. I love watching Man United, so I'm going to watch it. So I'm probably going to do it. So FYI, watch out for that tomorrow. It'll probably be there somewhere. And let's be honest, I'm not confident going into tomorrow, but you just got to hope. It's the hope that kills you, Gary. It's the hope that kills you.
Who are you playing tomorrow, mate?
Brighton at home, very dangerous fixture. They do very well against us.
Do you think
very trepid.
Is there going to be any rotation, or are we going to play it? There won't be any rotation for United, will there?
No rotation, Trig. We don't rotate. We haven't got the squad to rotate. We'd lose 100% if we rotated.
We get another chance to get a look at Cunha then to see how rubbish he is. If he comes up with a hat-trick or something, it might make a difference to what I do this week.
I hope he does. That way you'll be tempted to keep him for the 2 points that are coming against the next 2 weeks.
Estervale's just come on for his goal.
Your favourite player. Roberto, obviously, as we've spoken about before, form is not temporary, but is no longer going. But where can we find you, mate? And apart from obviously on the FPL Pubcast.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at RobertoHollis9. And also on Instagram, Roberto_the_pro. And yeah, check it out. It's gonna be interesting over the next coming days as we finalize our game week 22 transfers. I'm pretty confident I'm gonna go Timber in for Chow. But we'll see as the deadline approaches, and it'll be good to get stuck into it on Wednesday as well. Looking forward to that.
Are you missing doing the weekly stream? Pure because you see that video I did with Steve-O where he was talking about like quitting and stuff FPL. Like I'm just wondering like if you're missing doing it or sorry.
Yes and no. I mean, I guess it's life takes over a little bit and it's busier, and so it was a different time back then. But yeah, it's what it is sort of thing. I'm happy to come on here and give my FPL expertise this way. It's good. It's good fun.
And
Roberto,
I have to prepare the slides.
What was that,
What was
Gary?
your last one? What was your last episode? Was it with me?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I think so.
What a way to finish a pod with the D unit as the last guest.
No, that's what convinced him I can't do this anymore. Not as like this on here. Like, Craig, where can we find you, mate? And you plan to do any videos over this weekend with the FA Cup and it?
Trig Talks FPL. Yeah, I did one yesterday and probably have a few days off doing videos now, maybe for 1 or 2 days. And then I'll be back after the Carabao Cup games, I think. I might do a review of the Carabao Cup games or something and the implications for the results. Because it will affect game week 26, won't it, when Chelsea beat Arsenal. I don't know if Chelsea can have a double in that week or not. But
they're over 2 legs, aren't they?
Yeah, oh yeah, they are too, aren't they? So they're not.
Yeah.
When's the second leg? Probably not for a few weeks, is it?
Just before game week 24, I'm pretty sure, which is why we should know around that time, from my knowledge.
Mind if they win 3 or 4-0, we should get a pretty good idea.
You can make some sort of guess, I guess. Yeah. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Please do join myself, Roberto, and
Big Dan Burn.
they're supposed to say Big Dan Burn. I can't even hear the big. We're gonna have to get him to
I heard it.
FPL Nightmare on Wednesday, and obviously, please join. I think next Saturday will be me, Kanji, Trig, and Darius for the FPL Lock-In. We'll be reacting to football. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a good game week 22.
Cheers, all.
See you next week.